Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Victoria Principal, who is 75 years old, has finally given her opinion on Paul Newman. During the month of January, Victoria Principal was born as Vicky Ree Principal. It was the 3rd of 1950 in Fukuoka, Japan. Over the course of the latter half of the 20th century, she became one of the most well-known identifiable television stars. She was a lady whose beauty, tenacity, and commercial brilliance made her a cultural figure that will endure for generations to come. She spent her childhood going from country to country, which was an experience that extended her viewpoint, strengthened her flexibility, and created her poised cosmopolitan attitude. She was born into a military family, and she spent her childhood growing up in several countries. The fact that she spent her formative years in such disparate locations as England, Puerto Rico, and the United States of America provided her with the opportunity to become acquainted with a wide range of cultures and people, which ultimately fueled the curiosity and resiliency that would become hallmarks of her adult life. Beginning at a young age, Victoria displayed a level of earnestness and independence that was not typical. Her affinity for drama was what ultimately led her to seek a career in acting, despite the fact that she had begun modeling when she was still in her teens. She was forced to spend months recovering and reevaluating her future, after surviving a devastating car accident that came dangerously close to taking her life when she was 18 years old. As a result of this event, she made the courageous decision to relocate to New York City, where she attended the American branch of the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts and worked tirelessly to improve her craft. This combination of self-control and drive yielded results in a short amount of time. Within a short period of time, she made her debut in the film industry with a significant role in the 1972 film, The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean, in which she starred opposite Paul Newman. The young actress, who has remarkable features and an identifiable screen presence, was immediately brought to the attention of Hollywood by her performance, which resulted in her being nominated for a Golden Globe. Victoria Principal's career entered a new phase in 1978, when she was cast in the role of Pamela Barnes, Ewing on the landmark television drama Dallas. This was the beginning of the defining chapter of her career. Pamela Victoria's role was a loving, moral, and emotionally grounded figure who provided as a counterweight to the greed and power conflicts that defined the rest of the Ewing family. The program became a cultural sensation, and Pamela was a character that Victoria created. Pamela's journey through heartache, hope, and personal development was followed by millions of fans who tuned in week after week, not only to see the dramatic twists that the show included, but also to offer their support for her. A natural and well-liked relationship existed between Victoria and her co-star Patrick Duffy, who played Bobby Ewing. As a result, the two of them became one of the most legendary couples in the history of television during that time period. Her performance presented her with the opportunity to portray profound feelings in a nuanced manner, so influencing the emotional core of the series for almost a decade. However, Victoria Principal was never a lady who was restricted to a single course of action. Even as she was at the pinnacle of her celebrity in Dallas, she was quietly laying the groundwork for a second career journey that would be just as successful. Specifically, in the capacity of a businesswoman and beauty entrepreneur. She began her skincare line, Principal Secret, in 1989, which was inspired by her long-standing passion in wellness, self-care, and personal empowerment. Principal Secret was a skincare line. An enormous amount of success was achieved by the brand that she founded on the principle that beauty begins with the cultivation of oneself from the inside out. Victoria was one of the first celebrities to migrate into the beauty industry, not as a figurehead but rather as an educated and passionate business leader. Her hands-on involvement and credibility as both the founder and ambassador made her one of the earliest celebrities to enter the sector. She became a pioneering figure for many of the celebrity-founded beauty companies that dominate the market today as a result of the success of her company, which flourished for decades. In addition to her success in the realm of television, Victoria Principal, who is widely acclaimed for her iconic role on Dallas, has also achieved success in other fields. In addition to that, she earned a great reputation as a best-selling author. Throughout the decade of the 1980s, Principal channeled her enthusiasm for beauty, health, and personal well-being into a series of popular novels that struck a chord with millions of readers all over the world. Her first book, published in 1983 and titled The Body Principle, provided women with groundbreaking insights into fitness, nutrition, and holistic self-care. These insights enabled women to embrace a healthier lifestyle long before wellness became a cultural phenomena. As a result of this accomplishment, she published The Beauty Principle in 1984. This book was a guide that included expert advice on skincare, as well as practical recommendations on grooming, style, and self-confidence. It reflected her philosophy that beauty originates from inside. In 1987, she continued with the diet concept, offering readers thoughtful ways to weight management, nutrition, and sustained healthy living. She also provided readers with information about the diet principle. Several decades later, in the year 2001, Principle made her return to the world of literature with the publication of Living Principle. This book was a very personal work that extended her instruction beyond the realm of physical health to embrace mental and emotional well-being. It also shared her philosophy on how to live a life that is happy and full. Her illustrious career in the entertainment industry is on par with the literary accomplishments she has accomplished. Principle has been nominated for a Golden Globe Award on 2 separate occasions, which is a testament to her ongoing talent and influence in the Hollywood industry. The fact that she has inspired generations of admirers to not only look their best, but also feel their best is evidence that her influence reaches far beyond the realm of the silver screen. Her books and honors have also been a source of inspiration. In addition to her success in the entertainment and business industries, Victoria has always been recognized for her giving nature and her commitment to charitable causes. She formed the Victoria Principle Foundation for Thoughtful Existence, a charitable organization that focuses on supporting causes related to the environment, animal welfare, and disaster relief assistance. 3 areas that she has been deeply committed to for a very long time. Through the utilization of her resources and position, she has made significant contributions that extend far beyond the realm of Hollywood. These accomplishments include supporting communities that have been impacted by natural disasters, fighting for the conservation of oceans, and contributing to the rehabilitation of wildlife. The personal life of Victoria Principle has frequently been the subject of public interest, in part due to the fact that she has a prominent profession in Hollywood, primarily because of her long-running role as Pamela Barnes-Ewing on the television show Dallas. She has been married and divorced twice during the course of her life, and she has made the decision not to have children. Instead, she has decided to concentrate on her professional life, her personal interests, and the charitable work that she does. There have been times when her sexual relationships have intersected with her work life, which has resulted in moments of fascination for both her admirers and the media. While she was working on the filming of The Life and Times of Judge Roy Bean in 1972, she dated actor Anthony Perkins, which is considered to be one of her first and most prominent relationships. This specific relationship was particularly noteworthy due to the fact that, as stated in the reports, it was Perkins's first contact with heterosexuality. As a result, the time that they spent together was a singular and unforgettable chapter in both of their personal lives. Principle's first marriage was to Christopher Skinner, a writer and producer whom she had connected with in 1978, while she was working on the television show Dallas. Skinner, who was largely active behind the scenes as a writer and producer, had a brief turn in front of the camera for the show, and it was during this time that their paths met. Skinner was ultimately involved in the production of the show. When they made the decision to get married, it marked the beginning of Principle's first big chapter in his marriage. The relationship between them evolved rapidly, and they made the decision to get married. However, despite the fact that their union was initially full with hope and promise, it turned out to be short-lived. It took them only 2 years to realize that their disagreements could not be resolved, which ultimately led to the filing of a divorce petition in the year 1980. During the year 1981, the divorce was legally formalized, bringing an end to this initial effort at a long-term partnership and influencing Principle's perspective of personal relationships within the framework of her quickly developing career. Following her divorce from Skinner, Principle began a widely publicized relationship with Andy Gibb, an English-Australian singer-songwriter. Gibb is born in England and was born in Australia. It was on the John Davidson Show in January 1981 that the two individuals first came into contact with one another. Their connection was instantaneous, and it captured the attention of both fans and the media. Their partnership was distinguished not just by the personal chemistry that existed between them, but also by the professional teamwork that they shared. Their collaboration resulted in the recording of a duet titled, All I Have to Do Is Dream, which went on to achieve a moderate level of success on the pop charts, reaching its highest position on the Billboard Hot 100 chart in September of 1981. For a number of different reasons, this recording was quite important. Not only was it the only song that Victoria Principal ever recorded, but it was also Andy Gibbs' final single before his sad death. In spite of the fact that they had stated that they were romantically involved, their relationship did not last very long and ended in March of 1982. Gibbs's developing difficulties with drug addiction were the primary force behind the dissolution of the relationship. In subsequent interviews, particularly with People magazine, Principal expressed her candidness regarding the challenges she encountered during this time period. She explained that our breakup was preceded and precipitated by Andy's use of drugs. She concluded by saying, I did everything I could to help him, but then I told him he would have to choose between me and his problem, highlighting her compassion as well as her firm boundaries. The terrible death of Gibbs in 1988 only served to highlight the precarious nature of that period in her life, and had an emotional imprint that will remain with her for a long time. Principal's personal life took a more solid turn in 1983 when she met Dr. Harry Glassman, a notable Beverly Hills plastic surgeon. This meeting brought about a change for the better. Principal had already spent 7 years as Pamela Barnes-Ewing on Dallas, a job that had given her a household celebrity. By the time the pair were married, their relationship had grown significantly, and they had tied the knot on June 22, 1985 in Dallas, Texas. They were able to provide her with a sense of stability and companionship that she had not before experienced in any of her previous relationships. Their marriage. The pair spent nearly 20 years together, during which time they navigated the hurdles of high-profile careers, public scrutiny, and personal development. They lived in Beverly Hills when they were together. However, Principal filed for divorce in May of 2006, citing irreconcilable differences as the reason for her decision. Principal expressed his affection for the partnership, saying, We have had a loving relationship for over 20 years. This was accomplished despite the fact that the couple's marriage had ended. During the month of December in 2006, the divorce was finalized, bringing an end to a lengthy period in her personal life, while also providing her with the experience and resiliency that she had gained from being in a sustained relationship. Victoria Principal, an actress and businesswoman who is best known for her iconic role as Pamela Barnes-Ewing on the television show Dallas, has now opened up about her long-closed chapter with the legendary actor Paul Newman. Principal is 75 years old. In spite of the fact that she has always kept a respectful distance from public conversations about her personal life, the Principal is now speaking openly about a connection that has left an everlasting effect on her. Her reflections reveal that Paul was remarkable not only in his acting career but also in his life as a person. He possessed a captivating presence, the kind that pulled people in, and yet he possessed a humility and gentleness that was uncommon in the Hollywood industry. Being in his presence was not only awe-inspiring and humbling, but also at times overwhelming. Not only do her statements give the impression that she has a tremendous admiration for Newman's craft, but they also demonstrate the significant influence that he had on people who were directly close to him. Principal describes the early days of their acquaintance, a period when both were navigating the highs and lows of developing stardom in the entertainment world. Principal was primarily concerned with the early days of their relationship. The first time I met Paul was on the set of a movie, she says. He exuded an air of effortless charisma, the kind that does not require you to exert any effort to achieve. Despite the fact that everyone turned their attention to him, he managed to make you feel as though you were the only person in the room. During that moment, I distinctly recall thinking, this man is not only talented, he is rare. The combination of professionalism, charisma, and real warmth that Newman possessed was what made him a beloved figure both on and off the screen, and her reflection highlights this combination. In her recollections, Principal also touches on the humanity that lies beneath the Hollywood star. She emphasizes that although Newman was adored by millions of people for his performances, it was his sincerity that created an effect that will last a lifetime. Paul was a man of integrity in his daily life. He did not merely act out personalities. She claims that he possessed a moral compass that was nearly palpable in an almost tangible way. He had a profound concern for people, for the international community, and for leaving behind something that was significant. Such an influence is the kind that lingers with you for a significant amount of time after the cameras have stopped rolling. Not only as a co-star or celebrity, but also as a man of principle and character, whose legacy stretched far beyond the realm of cinema. Principal's statements demonstrate that he has a deep and abiding admiration for Newman. At a time when retrospectives on Newman's life and career continue to attract audiences, Principal's revelation comes at a time when the world is reminded of the varied nature of his legacy, being passed down from generation to generation. She reveals in an open and honest manner that her time spent working with him afforded her opportunities for both learning and introspection. She acknowledges that Paul had a way of promoting excellence without ever being pushy, and that being around him made her want to improve not only as an actress but also as a person. Despite the fact that it was not clearly expressed, you were able to sense his support, and it was in that context that you learned to find your own individual strength and voice. Not only does she narrate her own personal experience via this perspective, but she also underlines the significance of mentorship and genuine relationships as a source of inspiration in the world of Hollywood, which is frequently characterized by superficiality. In conclusion, Principal acknowledges the bittersweet emotion that comes with recalling memories that are associated with Newman. She expresses thanks for the connection that they enjoyed, despite the fact that time has passed and both of them have led lives that are full of their own successes and difficulties. "I will always carry the moments I had with Paul in my heart," she says in her reflection. "There's a certain magic in knowing that you've encountered someone whose spirit is larger than life, someone who leaves an imprint on the way you view the world. From my perspective, Paul was that person, and I believe it is the reason why he is remembered with such veneration." Her comments serve as an homage as well as a testament, reminding fans and admirers alike that behind every movie icon is a very human narrative that is full of relationships, influence, and an impact that will last a lifetime. Through the disclosure of these personal musings at the age of 75, Victoria Principal not only pays tribute to the memory of Paul Newman, but she also extends an invitation to the general public to perceive the individual who lies behind the myth. Newman was a consummate artist, a caring spirit, and a figure whose presence influenced lives both on and off the screen. As a result of Principal's genuine recollections, fans are able to catch a glimpse of a side of Newman that very few people were privy to. Principal captures the essence of a legendary friendship that transcended stardom and persisted in quiet, significant ways. She comes to the conclusion that I have been waiting a long time to talk about this, not because I wanted to keep it a secret, but because there are some things that are too valuable to be rushed. Of those, Paul was one of them,